Hi friends, it's Friday, July 4th, 2014. Lynn and Jamie here, continuing our 7-month assignment in activism and spirituality. This segment of our assignment deals primarily with spirituality. We had an initial segment that was much more activist focused. Now we're in the spirituality phase, in which we're working essentially with the higher dimension beings. And this phase will come to an end too, and then we will go back into the activism phase where we are working once more primarily with people in bodies. So our assignment for today's session is to continue our work in the lower dimensions, working with the beings from the future. Now we continue the work that we began earlier today. Why do this has to do with bringing truth into the past or something? If I could be wrong. Living waters into the past for sure. Bringing living waters into the past. They say, and what are living waters? Living waters are love, but that word love, it gets so twisted around in the physical dimension that it comes to mean things that don't actually mean love. So what this means actually is calling people into their greatness, calling sentient beings into their greatness. Living waters represents that which call us into our destiny, that which calls all of us into our destinies. So we're bringing in a call to living our soul plans. Wow, that's pretty great. And we see how we've all wussed out, all the time. Wussing out is a time-honored tradition. We're bringing in living waters to counteract the time-honored tradition of wussing out on our soul plan. At first, the tunnel was just getting bigger with the efforts, but now it seems to also be finishing out. It's like the living waters is finishing out. To me, it looks like, the white-tiled subway stations? Some of them are white-tiled. Maybe they're all that way, I don't know.
A lot of them are.
A lot of them are. That's how it looks. It's like white tiled. Now, the guides are saying, now why are they white tiled? What do you notice? Well, one thing I notice is it shows the smears of poopy looking dirt stuff. They say, that's right. It's easier to tell where the messes are. Because when it's just that rough, dark rock looking, not lack of finish, that rough, dark rock, lack of finish look, you can't tell where the poop is, right?
Right.
But with the white tile, it's real obvious. Like there are brown smears, right?
Right.
So we just bring, I get it. I understand. It's the living waters that's putting the white tile on. The living waters brings our flaws to light. Wow. So we go through with our efforts making the tunnel bigger, and the living waters is putting the white tile in, finishing it out, which bring our flaws to light. Wow. That's intense. That's beautiful. We just keep going back. I don't see any workers here. I don't see
anybody.
No, it's just us in the tunnel, but that's okay. The part that didn't collapse was the finished out part, right?
Right.
So we just finish it out, showing, like it has to show the poop smears,
right?
Or it just closes in on itself again. There's nothing to bring the flaw, the resistance to light. The resistance. It's about resisting our soul plan. Those brown smears are resistance to living our soul plan, right?
Right.
The white tile shows the brown smears, right?
Right.
The light of truth. Wow! Like if I look far enough in the light, I can even see the big hole way, way, way off in the distance. But somebody's still waving through it. Like the hole is still there.
Right.
The hole to the bright light on the other side. Oh, look! They're working at it from that end. Look, that's where they are. Look, they're back there.
Oh.
Look. Do you see them?
Yeah.
On the other side.
Of the little hole.
Of the little hole. They're working from that end. But those are the future beings. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
They're back there. That's where they are. Hi, guys. Thank you so much. We'll just work through this part then, shall we? They're saying when we get to the red and green, possibly what we do then is we pause and start pulling the coal cars that they've loaded up.
Yeah.
And they said, now what did we just have you do in the preparatory session before you turn the camera on? They had us clear chakras, which is completely abnormal for us, right?
Right.
That's not our normal clearing. And they say, now what did you learn about this yesterday? We learned this is the future chakra for the biosphere. They say, that's right. Now put 2 and 2 together. Okay, so let's just tie off the living water bags right here so that they don't go away, because we're pretty far back in this tunnel, right?
Right.
We're working in the back of the future chakra for the biosphere, right?
Right.
And our goal is to clear it all the way to the back, to where the light breaks in. So we'll just, let's turn and face the future, because that's how we're used to doing this, and habit energy counts. Habit energy can be helpful, right? So face the future, right? Boom! And now the red and green lights are behind us, and so the living waters are right here in front of us, and now we're going to start clearing the future chakra behind us. The river of light at the back, boom, I hear like crashing noises, like things collapsing open is the only way I can describe it. Collapsing open behind us. Is that what are you perceiving?
Right, so rocks falling, big rocks.
Big rocks falling. Wow, I see literally white tiles flying past me. Letting in white tile. You know what it looks like is when the space shuttles take off and all the tiles fall off. But this is good. These tiles are, it's like they're falling on.
Right.
But I can't see them going on because I'm just looking forward. I just see them flying past me, and I know I can hear them going splat, splat onto the walls behind me. And now here come the coal cars, right? Let's just get these going. The coal car loaded up from the past by the future beings. I can see them waving at me kind of in the back of my head. It's like I have a rear view mirror moving from the past into the future, loaded down with just like weird objects. That's all I can see. What's your perception of what's in there?
Yeah, it looks like weird debris,
like construction debris,
but also like hairbrushes and teddy bears and
pipes that are bent and.
Right, it's like they demolish. It looks like an old house is
demolishing of a civilization.
Yeah.
Oh, demolition of a civilization. Wow, that's intense. It's the rubble of a demolished civilization. Holy moly. Well, we know there have been other demolished civilizations, right?
Right.
So let's see if we can see as any of this from Atlantis. It will be color-coded, right? Well, does anything pop out that is not of the current 40,000 years of civilization? Or is it all the current 40,000 years of civilization? Oh, well, you know what? That makes sense, because this would be on top, right?
Right.
So, of course it would have to come out first, right? Because they're just putting in the cars what they're digging out, right? Observe. Does it seem as though something not of our current civilization is beginning to be introduced to these coal cars?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. There's something of another color coding, a different, I can't quite explain it.
It's like different materials.
Yeah, that's it. That's not our civilization at all.
Right, different concrete.
No. Is this Atlantis or something? Yeah. Wow. Now I've got a lot of sadness coming up, because there was so much that was beautiful about that civilization. So much that if we could have only salvaged it, it would have saved us a lot of time. And now there's very little of the current civilization. There's still bits and pieces of it.
Right.
But mostly it's Atlantis, right?
Right.
And now we're hitting the Atlantis zone, so we're just clearing away this debris, sending it into the future. Now, this is the one the precursor to Atlantis. Yeah. Okay, let's work with this too.
This one feels grosser than Atlantis.
It feels disgusting. It feels awful. It feels horrendous. So maybe Atlantis was a reaction to that. Is like, well, let's not do that again.
Because Atlantis went really well for a long time.
For a long time, and then right at the end,
it just got really rough.
That same whole thing, greed, power, control. I don't want to live my soul plan.
Yeah.
The same old thing. I don't want to, you can't make me.
I want it to be easier.
I don't want to live my soul plan. You can't make me live my soul plan. I'm going to do the opposite of what you say. Oppositional defiant disorder as a biosphere. This precursor to Atlantis feels very oppositional defiant. So actually, looking at Atlantis, there was a huge improvement, right?
Yeah.
Right. This is disgusting stuff that's coming through us right now. Whoa, let's get that going into the future, asking our future selves to help. Whoa, we're starting to get something from the civilization before that Atlantis precursor. And this one, again, doesn't look all that bad, does it?
No.
It looks better than that one that was in between that was so horrendous. This one is better.
I would feel simpler,
but cleaner, less defiant, less opposition. I would say Atlantis is better than this one.
I would say Atlantis is the best looking one.
So here's the story I'm making up based on what we've seen so far on this small sample that's too small to actually determine whether or not we have a pattern.
Right.
But it seems to be that our civilization is worse than Atlantis.
Oh, yeah.
Atlantis was a good line. And then there was a really dark civilization that's worse than ours, right? And then now there's one, a lighter one like Atlantis, but it's not as light as Atlantis. So maybe after ours will come one that's even lighter than Atlantis. It could be, right? Because we have light, dark, light, dark.
Right, that's possible.
It's possible. We'll see. And now some dark streaks are starting to come into the debris. Yeah. Oh, God, this is horrific. You know what it looks like? That dark, slimy stuff that people's channels get clogged with, the black, slimy
the black,
filth.
slick stuff.
Yeah, that's what this is. That's exactly what this is, that black, slick stuff. Whatever that is, that comes after people get really oppositional defiant, right? This is lightening up now. That black, slicky, gross, absolutely toxic, disgusting stuff seems to be past us. Or easing up. And this civilization is once again lighter, but is it as light as the last light band?
No.
It's not. So it seems like we have alternating bands of light civilizations followed by dark civilizations followed by...
they just get better and better.
Yeah. And that the one that is coming to an end now is the dark band, right?
Right.
And so the one that comes after this maybe will be good enough that we can actually break through into oneness consciousness, right?
Right.
And get our channels up into awakening. It's not just oneness consciousness, they said. And what else? Because oneness consciousness is necessary. And they said necessary for what? For getting our channels up and living our soul plan, to just doing it. I'm just asking upstairs, is it okay if we turn around and look at the future beings and just see how close we are? I think we can. Let's do it, right? Let's start to do it, and if it starts to feel wrong, we can stop. I have to turn counterclockwise to do so. I'm not allowed to turn clockwise. If I try to turn clockwise, it feels really wrong. But I can turn counterclockwise at least halfway and look back. Wow, they look so close. Wow, hi guys. I love you too. Wow, look how close they are. Is it just me?
No, they're a stone's throw.
Yeah. Shouldn't we finish it?
No.
So whatever's coming up is a challenge, right?
Tomorrow.
Okay, salute. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. It's a real privilege, a joy, and an honor to be able to be of service.